Hello again, gamers across the gender spectrum. I will find an intro that I will continuously use at some point. Today is not that day. We are back with the yellow cards from Spyro's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared set. Hello, Spyro.
Hi.
And we are kicking it off with Yellow Guy and his pesky bee. On death, pitch a card, check top four for level 1 or higher. So it's a Cheery, and also has an act. Put this card at the bottom of your deck. Choose one character in your opponent's center stage. That character gets minus 1,000 power and the pesky bee trait until end of turn.
Okay, yeah, this is another thing that's a really old like running gag. It's mainly with duck actually that
Hmm.
the running gag is that an insect will show up, doesn't matter what the insect is, always duck will kill it and then say that it was a pesky bee that you just killed.
Ah.
As you can see, this is a fly. This is not a pesky bee. Okay, okay. The reason it shows up in a yellow guy card here is because the specific scene is the fly goes to his eye and then goes to Duck, and then Duck smashes it. There's a cute combo here revolving the trait that we will see once we get to green.
Hmm.
The card by itself is just the standard. If you give a second effect to Theory, I guess it's destined to be an RR now.
Right. Yeah, this. I know that this was like intentionally done at some level to prevent like the cut down the synergy on the card a bit. Have it sending it to bottom deck instead of like sacking it or otherwise letting you get both effects off on the one card.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, I definitely didn't want to do that. Like, I know, like, Prairie has an actual on-play version. It has an on-play version of this now,
yeah,
but that was not something that was expected to happen when I was making this card.
yeah,
I went with this version that's intentionally worse, I guess.
yeah. It definitely knocks at some points off of the power perspective, but it's just very funny that it's just like you B traits.
Yeah, I guess since the scene was the bee is on his eye and then it goes to Duck, you can say, okay, the bee goes, whatever the fly, it goes to whoever you choose. Yeah, it's fine. Like individually, I say it's not too crazy. The main funny thing comes in when we get to the Duck.
Yep.
Yeah, quote unquote filler RR
Yeah.
because it's not too crazy, but that's just how they make cards.
Yeah. Moving along.
Okay, this is Leslie. When she is played on the stage from your hand, you put the top two cards of the deck in your waiting room. If there's a climax among them, you put this into your stock. And then it's also on play pay three stock swap. Yeah, this is another very devious combination that they hooked up.
Yeah, this is it's level 0 access stock swap. Again, I love that.
Yeah, usually those are RR anyway, but
Yeah.
here I went for the extra sort of devious combination where it's this is a downside, so it can be a 3k bitter, but in your finishing turn, you want the downside to hit
Yeah.
so that you get your stock swap for cheaper.
Oh my god. That is
And
evil and I love it.
I mean, it also fits because this woman right here, she's basically the puppet master that's controlling the entire world.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense that, even if you think that you're hurting her, it's actually all part of her plan.
Pulling the strings literally.
Yeah, and that's where the triple question mark straight comes in. It's like we have no idea what she's on about.
True.
And yeah, I
Nice.
mean, I think this is plus just for the innovation of technology.
God, I mean, this is also technology that people have been like when they took the hiatus from making stock swaps, which they apparently are have concluded. But there is that period of like, oh no, stock swaps going away forever. By the way, anyone remember those level 0 ones that are just like
Yeah.
play them whatever? And there's only like what I think out of all the sets, I think like slime or Overlord, one of the ones that was like super annoying for a while.
Yeah. The only one that has old enough cards, I think. Okay, Overlord is so old that that stock swap was not a consistent thing yet.
Hmm.
Slime is in the right sweet spot where it's old enough to have stocks, level 0 stock swaps, but not so old that it doesn't have any stock swap. And it happens to be also a set that got a lot of support later on compared
Yeah.
to some other ones that have level 0 stock swaps, but they don't have the modern tools they need.
Yeah, it was just the one in the best position to have it and use
Yeah.
it. But yeah, very, very cheeky. All right. Next card. This is yellow guy on yellow guy half batteries. He is half made of batteries. Four more early play. If you have two more other global characters, gets 2k power. On play heal. And at the beginning of your climax phase, you can put this in your waiting room to change it into yellow guy getting answers.
This is the finisher, which is the next card. Obviously, having your early played Saints into your finisher pretty powerful. Other than that, it's a pretty simple healer. The flavor here is that in the last episode of the television series, he pulls out this. Even for the standards of this show, it's a completely out of nowhere sort of twist that he's half batteries allegedly, and he opens his chest and he has batteries. You can see them; they are behind
Yeah.
the gray box, and then it turns out that his batteries are worn out, so that's why he's dumb. So
Ah.
they take out his worn out batteries, and then they give him the good batteries of one of the teachers. One of the teachers is like I'm not sure what they're called in English. That thing where that shows you how much you have to pay for electricity.
Oh. Okay. Like a meter?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, what?
I don't know.
What? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know the word for it, but one of the teachers is a sentient that thing, and she has her own batteries, but that they are good. And basically, they do a little switcheroo with the batteries, and then yellow guy suddenly becomes super self-aware. He realizes that he's being controlled, and he goes to confront Leslie, which we see in the next card. So that's where the change comes in.
That is so much more of a trip than I thought that was going to be looking at this card. I do like how it at least makes sense. Like it's a completely out of left field thing, but it's there's at least
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah. Like
logic in there.
once you immerse yourself in this universe's logic, it makes sense.
Yeah. I've been there with a lot of things. Well, let's see what this guy changes into, why don't we?
Okay, this is yellow guy getting answers. You see, this one has a well-made hair, so he's smart.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so he has a really bulky effect here. It's called memory. If Leslie's book is in your memory, which is an event we'll see later, and you have two or more other Zoom 20 characters, he gets the following two abilities. First, on attack, you look at the top two, put one on top, and put the other to your waiting room. And also, when he attacks, you can pay one ditch one. If you do, for the rest of the turn, he gains cancel burn one. And then he also has Climax combo with when he attacks, if you have the choice, uh, he puts the top card of your waiting room and deals damage equal to the level of the card plus one. And that second combo right there apparently counts as a level 3 effect, which was a little awkward, but
Really? That is weird.
it, it, it gave me a good excuse for why he would have a changer, because he has no on play effect to miss out on.
True. Very true.
But yeah,
Huh.
basically, it needs like the relatively simple setup of the X-ray event in memory to, and what you get is a guy that can do the Musashi effect effectively on attack, but he can also rearrange the top two to see what level he's going to get. And if
Yeah.
he's really like not sure about how much damage he will stick, he can also get the extra cancel burn to really run it home, I guess.
Yeah. That is. And can you? I think the way you can arrange that so that like you can check before. Yeah, you can check before you
Yeah, yeah,
decide to
yeah.
pay. So if you,
All of these effects are on attack, so you
that
can choose
is
the order.
that is so smooth. Like it's definitely like a lower power finisher in the grand scheme, but obviously we in the custom
Yeah, I'm
community
not.
have been like trying to like tone things down at places because we've seen
Yeah,
the
I,
horrors
I'm
of
not
war.
interested in making. I'm not interested in making a super hand finisher. I'm
Yeah,
just going to make like I prefer to make these sort of more efficient, smooth designs.
yeah. This definitely does that.
I really like the technology here. I guess the only thing that's lacking is the flavor besides just the general climax moment and being changed into. And then Leslie's book, that's basically, Leslie gives him a book that supposedly has every answer he's looking for.
Okay.
We will see what happens to that book. It's not, it definitely didn't get read. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I now understand. There are things that now make more sense. I think the flavor hit is that like he has all these answers, and that's why he can like perfectly line things up, right? The ability to like set the top check and
Yeah.
also like know ahead of time, like, oh, I need to probably cancel 12 stars.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, I definitely went for more intellectual angle. It's kind of hard to adapt this more intellectual moment sometimes, as opposed to just, oh, this guy punches twice, so he burns one twice.
Yeah, for sure.
But I tried to make something that sort of captured the brain fuckery, I guess, that was going on.
I am definitely captured by it. All right, next yellow card. This is Yellow Guy Transport Lesson. When he's placed on your stage from your hand or by the effect of Mr. Choo Choo, look at the top card of your deck and put it on top of your deck or into your waiting room. Very interesting to have a level 0 within placed by effect of. He's also a traded salvage brainstorm.
It individually, it's just a very basic brainstorm profile. People have played stuff like this in the past. The only interesting thing here is that he implies more things to come. But Mr. Choo is a red card, so we're very far from that. We'll talk about him when we get there. But
Yeah.
just so you know, he's not the only one. There is one of its main character that gains an effect when played by Mr. Choo.
Hmm.
So it's a whole package basically. This we will start seeing a lot of the packages slowly reveal themselves.
Yeah, that was part of the when setting this up. I was like, all right, I could have like these cards like attach themselves like throughout the presentation, like I was doing with Arknights, but I was talking about with Spyro, and Spyro was like, nah, don't worry about it, dude. So we're not worrying about it, which means that a lot of things when we hit red are just gonna come together, like tie themselves off in bows. But for now, there are many questions. Like for example, what are you going to do with a rock? I don't know yet. We will find out together later. Speaking of finding things out together.
Okay, this is yellow guy on the road. He is colorless. Okay, we'll talk about the colors afterwards, but okay. Just so you know, he's colorless. On play, you may draw one, then choose a card in your hand and put in your waiting room. And then he has climax combo when you play this door right here. You can sack him to play a red guy on the road from your hand, which is a 2-1. This is a classic sort of early play 2-1 combo setup thing that existed in older sets, and I don't know, it just kind of vibed with the idea
Yeah.
of making one of them. The only weird thing is that it's a yellow. Usually the base is usually the one that had the color of the climax. This time it's a bit reversed, but it's fine.
Yeah.
The only weird things here is that he's colorless, even though we have ways to set that up. I think I hadn't thought of that idea yet when I was making this, and I think I just decided to leave the few cards that I made colorless just for the sake of math.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, this is also just a one-to-one, except for the colorless, it's a one-to-one recreation of the standard. I forget the name of the set, but yeah, there's a set that has the same exact sort of profile with draw one, ditch one, and then sack to play a 2-1
Yeah.
that has a combo.
I feel like I might have seen it too. I don't remember it either.
I guess I have a little bit of regret for not foreseeing the color requirement thing, but I don't think it changes too much. I'm not too beat up about it.
Yeah, especially because like hypothetically there would be cases where you just can't get a copy of that into your level in time. So the ability to just kind of skip that process and just all right, I need red guy in, bam, we're good. I do think that it's definitely relevant text still on the card, especially
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
it is
doing the
relevant
cross
text,
code
I guess.
combos.
I guess it just feels a little, yeah, it's that thing where you start overthinking, like, oh, maybe this makes me look stupid or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Moving along. Warren the Worm. If this card isn't your stage, this card loses friendship trait, and its card name is also regarded as Warren the Eagle. If your level is 2 or higher, this card gets the following ability: Act, put this into your stock, choose one Warren Worm in your brain in your hand to put on the stage position this card is on. When he's placed on the stage in your hand, you can pitch a card to choose a level X or lower June 20th character in your waiting room, return it to your hand. X is equal to the number of yellow guy warming his brain in your waiting room. Yellow guy
Yeah,
warming
more.
his brain. Different guy. Yeah.
Okay, so I
Few
just
things.
realized that there are so many things to explain. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Uh, okay, so this guy, so he shows up being all like, "Oh, I'm the friendship guru. I will fix your broken friendship," because they had like a bit of a fight
Mm.
the moment before he showed up. Obviously, he shows up out of nowhere because, of course, he does.
Yeah.
He says that he's Warren the Eagle. I know he identifies as an eagle for some reason. It's a thing that he does, but he's officially Warren the Worm. So I did a thing with that. As far as losing friendship, generally the idea of it's don't hug me, I'm scared sort of episode is to teach you a lesson, quote unquote, but it teaches it in a very roundabout way.
Mm.
But usually the teacher, in this case this would be the teacher of the episode, usually the teacher, even if it's a corrupted version of a lesson, they usually embody the lesson in some way. Warren is kind of a fun subversion where he teaches you about good friendship by showing you what a terrible friend looks like in
Right.
himself. So she loses friendship, even though technically he would be the friendship teacher by the format of the episodes.
Yeah.
As far as his effects, okay, I'll be honest, it was around the time where the Botsy the Rock was being revealed, and they revealed the Futari, which has the second effect, which is, just level. It's Rico, but instead of random, you check a specific card in your waiting room. Even with that footer, it was not a great card, but it was a passable card. And this is the same here. It's just a passable card you can play to make him a stronger filter. And then we have the new technology, because we have a lot of new technology in this, which is we also revive the old school put yourself to stock to change into a 2-1 effect. Something funny about this effect is that historically a lot of people would play this without the change target, just because you can put yourself to stock.
Just
And
for free.
yeah, and I imagine that's what's going to happen with this one too, if I'm being perfectly honest. But the target exists and he's very funny. I will reserve explaining why he's changing when we get there. I guess I'll explain the yellow guy when we get with that too.
Yeah.
I think that's enough for this guy. Flavor is through the roofs. This card is potentially broken, maybe because it's Rico with potentially really good upside, but I feel like it has
Yeah.
enough inconveniences baked in.
Oh,
To...
absolutely. Yeah. This goes neutral just because, yeah, not even actually. I could
Okay,
not tell you how to read this.
in Botsy the Rock, they do play the Futari,
Hmm.
which is just the second effect. But I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a card they want to play or it's a card they just have to play.
Yeah, like I know that you also have there's a silica that also does something similar, you know.
That one checks the pincer though, which is more specific. This one checks it's a generic zero you can play. That's like fine, which is what I did here. Just a fine zero you can play. But anyway, we'll see how this one goes. I guess.
Yeah. Huh. All right, moving on.
It's yeah.
The game's all
This
here.
this first stretch is all of the weird ones that make no sense. I'm really sorry.
That's fine. All right. When your climax with 2 souls and its trigger icon is placed on your climax area, this card gets 2k power till end of turn. And when this card attacks, if you have 2 or more other trigger characters, choose the climax in your climax area, the 2 soul stock soul, yellow stock soul, in your climax area. Bounce it back to your hand. Choose one of these. Play it back again. All of your characters get plus 1500 and minus 1 soul until end of turn. So the idea being that you do this each time. No, wait,
Yeah,
no, it does
no,
because it doesn't
so
say
you
during climax
play it.
or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Yeah, so it is.
yeah.
You get the extra stock every time. I feel like there are versions of that text
There
that made
are a
it different.
few cards that have ways to place climaxes during the main phase
Oh
that
yeah.
let you trigger effects like the first one multiple times, where you just stack a bunch of power.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the idea here is you're taking that to the extreme. You're just stacking a bajillion power. You're replaying the stocks till you get stock. I did the math, like assuming no other power boosts, the first copy of this will attack at 9-5 once everything is completed, and
Oh.
it will only get bigger. Maybe good tech pick against a Chainsaw Man. I don't know.
Wait, yeah.
You are, I don't think it's bragging because you're giving up. You're only getting stock. You're not getting actual hand. So it's definitely a more of a techie, again, exploring technology kind of card. As far as the flavor goes, this is at the end of episode 5 where it's revealed to the audience. It's the scene in the climax. It's revealed to the audience that at the end of every episode, Leslie resets the world. Okay, we're resetting the climax then. You know,
God, this is this a thing that has been done before? The recycling the climax thing. I know that
I,
there's
I
there's
to
a
this
Makima
extent
that kind
definitely
has,
not.
but looks
No, the
like that's the
Makima just adds it to your hand. It's just a salvaging the climax. I think it's
there's
the
the
one I'm thinking of.
yeah, because there's also like the level 3 early play one that got that level 3 early play one is fun.
Do you mean the one that when you play a door, you can remove all benefits of the door from your characters to salvage one?
Yeah, that is the one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's different. Yeah, you're basically just giving up the power and soul to get a guy back. Here, I'm
this,
only removing the soul just so it doesn't get ridiculous with gaining soul.
yeah, just yeah. I'm gonna swing what like 6 by the end of it. No, like yeah, like 5. That yeah.
Yes, yeah. The minus soul here is just to balance out, like to make sure we're always at the same level of soul, no matter what.
I could not tell you if this is like truly on spec.
Yeah, we debated about this a lot
Hmm.
with Alexander, I think. Yeah, we debated about this a lot with him about how to budget this, and I think this is what we ended up with by the end of the discussion, and that's the best I have to tell you.
Fair. Yeah, this goes hard. Feel free to screenshot. Like things just get so big. You just get all this stock, which it might actually be no, because you don't really want to do like two like double soul triggers in a restand finisher. Come to think of it,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there?
I'm not sure.
Hmm,
I'm not sure what you combine this with. I'll be honest.
yeah, like is
It's just here. It's
yeah, like it wants something to just be able to burn out all that stock. How do you burn out all that
uh,
stock other than just
okay.
doing like a bunch of like
There is
utility
okay.
plays?
There is a character that's meant to convert the stock directly with this that you definitely play
Ah,
in the deck that plays this. I just have no idea what your finisher is in this with this combo. I think it's more of just whatever the good finisher is, you play that, and then if the meta
yeah,
requires this, you play this.
yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, the character that this combos with to burn out the stock, that's coming in red, so we're really far from that.
Fair
But it's
enough.
not directly related to this card. Like
Right.
by the text, it doesn't, it just happens to synergize with this.
We will see that when we see it. And until then,
Yeah.
we will see other cards.
Okay, this is yellow guy back with the book. If Leslie's book is in your memory, he gets 1500 power and the following ability during your turn when his battle opponent is reversed. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an event or a June 20th character, put it in your hand. The usual for these is that they give you a blind stock, but technically, this is the same sort of budget here. And the only so I want to see how this would work out. And my justification is that usually these, when you have a climax, get blind stock kind of cards, they usually have combo with a 1-1 event.
Mm.
Whereas this one is a 2-1 event that you have to go through a bit of a hoop to get a level 1. So I thought maybe the extra hoop can justify this blasting you hand instead of stock. That was the idea there. It's just kind of okay. I'm gonna, it's interesting technology, but I cannot say that I was super thrilled about the card. It was just okay. I want to try this out.
Yeah, the fact that he's like like a 45 vanilla until you get that event in memory, which you can't, like, there isn't a way to really do ahead of time, right? Like you would fire it at level 2. That's when it goes to memory, and then that's when you
That's
get
the
the
normal
duplication.
way, but there is a way to
There is a
put it at
shortcut.
level
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, but that which the recommended way to do it. As we
Sure.
will explain that when we get to that.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, that's the thing. That instead of being a one-one event that you just play and you have your guy ready, this one has the extra hoop, which is how I justify classing hand.
Yeah, I think it tracks. All right.
Okay, so for this next one, I think we are forced to start jumping around to see the rest of the packets because otherwise, just to not completely confuse everyone.
Oh God. Oh right,
But
because it's the
I'll
whole.
tell you where to jump.
Okay.
But yeah, but let's start with this.
Yellow guy inside his head. If you have two or more other brain friends trait characters, this card gets 4,500 power and hexproof. On placement of the choice climax, send two other traded characters from your stage to your waiting room. If this card is in your center stage, you can do that to choose four dudes with different names in your waiting room. Put them on separate positions out of your stage. Search your deck for another thing. Yumferdinker?
Jamferdinker, yes.
Yumferdinker.
Jamferdinker.
Send it to your waiting room and shuffle your deck. All right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit before we start jumping around to what it actually summons. This is obviously based on the Levi squad combo,
Ah,
which is it's a
okay.
Levi that you play the climax, you pay your cost, and you summon the entire Levi squad from the waiting room, and then you are chilling. This is the similar idea, but instead he summons all of his brain friends. Okay, I'm going to explain the entirety of the lore once we get to the other card that matters for this, but basically he cannot take the social situation anymore and he retreats inside his head to
Okay.
play with all of his brain friends.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. And the cost is technically slightly more expensive than Levi's Squad, even though it's in a more beneficial place.
Hmm.
So that's how I justify the extra police burial at the end, because we have a fifth friend that we have to work in somehow.
Yeah.
Other than that, he sits big because that's Levi Squad also. The whole point of that combo is to sit big. This one
Okay.
sits a little smaller than Levi Squad, but it has more funky little utility tricks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess that's the most I can say without getting into all of the targets. It's definitely a fun combo. I really like the combo. My regrets comes mainly from confusing people with all of the packages of the card itself.
Yeah, that is the one thing. This set has so many different packages. Like, how do you build decks with this? It's a mystery to me. But hopefully, at some point, some connections get figured out. Where are we heading next?
Okay, next we're going to go to okay. The next one is slide 36.
All right,
The first one.
slide 36.
Okay,
Saturn David, which
or
is such
right.
a name.
Actually, now to think about it, it's probably better to go at slide 44 first to see the final card, the one you
Oh,
dump at the end.
the
The
Yumferdinger.
Overthinker. Because this one is, it's not one of the guys you put on the board at the end. He's kind of an extra supporting piece.
Yeah.
So it's probably a little easier to explain. Okay, so
The
I'm just gonna read all of these.
yeah.
Okay, this is Yamperdinger. On play, you mill two. If there's a climax among them, rest this card. And on play, it's a trade card that if you do, you can search your yellow guy inside his head combo. Pretty simple sort of consistency boost for your big package combo deck. And it's also 35, 100 bitter. This is also inspired by the Levi Squad deck itself, which played a 4K bitter with the first downside. The idea being that it's a 4K bitter, but it also mills to fill the waiting room with all of your Levi Squad targets. And we're adopting the idea
Right.
here. Yeah, this guy's pretty simple. He's not part of the Brain Friends guys on the field, but you dump him at the end. Individually he's neutral, I want to see him first because now we can go back because some of the cards will interact with this from the
Right.
waiting room, specifically Saturn David. Let's go back to slide 36 now.
Okay.
Okay, here's Saturn David. He's the first guy you will summon. This is if you have two or more other brain friend characters or characters with yellow guy in the card name, he gets 2500 power. So he will be 5/5 at that point. And then when he's played on the stage from your hand, or with the climax combo effect of yellow guy inside his head, if you have yellow guy inside his head, you can choose Yanford Dinker in your waiting room and put it into your stock.
Okay.
So this is the first utility you get out of resolving the brain friends. You get one stock, basically.
Right.
Yeah, the budgeting here is it's a little weird. It's a bit fractional, but it works out. Next card is the Sai imaginary older brother. He has a soul trigger, so you know he's broken. When he attacks, he gets 1,000 power for every other June 20th card that you have. So he will attack at 7k with full board.
Hmm.
Uh, and when your other Brain Friends character or character with yellow guy in his card name is frontal attack, if you have the yellow guy combo, you can sack him to give your character in battle 3,000 power for the turn.
Wow.
It's basically just an attacker. On the turn he's summoned, but after that he can help protect yellow guy, which is that's the whole idea of the Levi squad. You just protect the squad leader
Yeah.
to keep redoing the combo.
Huh.
The specific reason it's on this, basically, long story short, Warren, the worm slash eagle, ends up invading Yellow Guy's mind. He starts boring everyone with his business growth podcasts, and everyone else just left. All of the other benefits, but Sai, imaginary older brother specifically, he couldn't take it anymore, and he killed himself on screen,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's
that's
why
why.
he
Okay.
sacks himself. That's why he can sack himself.
I mean, JCs are good. Not JCs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
effectively
not. Yeah, it's
JCs.
not JC. It's close enough.
Field backup. That's what it is.
Yeah. We'll. Yeah.
Shit.
Okay. Then let's look at the back rows you're going to summon. First, we have slide for the three. The first tooth. All of your other yellow guys at his head get 1,000 power and the following ability. During your turn, all of your other brain prince characters get 1,000 power. This is kind of buffs your board,
Mm,
but only if you have the combo.
right.
And then it's also a search brainstorm. So outside of the specific deck with this, you probably don't play this because the second effect wouldn't matter to you. But for this, it's obviously the thing you summon. It gives you a brainstorm and some power.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
definitely
that's about
nice
it.
to have when your board is going to be set like this.
And then the final piece of the puzzle is the previous slide, uh, the bubble
Ah.
bath memory. Okay, this uh, if you have the yellow guy combo, he gets act, rest this to draw and ditch one. Helps a little bit with looping the combo potentially. And then he also has the what is it? The Noel combo in the from Whole Life Set One.
Yep.
Yeah, which is like just adding a little extra, a tiny nice plus at the end of all of this.
Huh. That
Yeah,
is
it's
fascinating.
definitely the weakest one to just play by itself, but it completes the board, I guess.
And like you could like it's a level 0 thing that you could do with the climax if you have it in your hand and
Yeah, you can technically just do this by itself
yeah,
without the combo if you
because
wanted to.
it's mill 3 setup as well, for when you get there. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not amazing. It's just because it's one instance, which is usually that's bad, but it's attached to a lot of the other stuff, so it's good to have.
yeah, context
It com-
definitely makes it work.
yeah,
I got into this game with Hololive, so I kind of missed the boat on like Levi Squad being a thing floating around. At least in my locals, we have like
yeah,
an AOT
I can
guy,
say that.
but
That's realistic.
I just never saw this, which is also why the level 3 Levi thing is so cool to me. This is bonkers. The fact that Bushiroad made a package that goes like maybe that does go this
No,
far,
yeah,
but
it's definitely
still,
not this far. This is definitely an evolution on
yeah,
what Levi Squad was doing. It's
Huh.
but yeah, they did. This is not like the actual main card that summons the guys is not a fake. It is a thing that exists.
Yeah,
It was one of my favorite decks like way back. Like even before playing the game when I was just looking the game online.
I think you've
Yeah,
definitely
that
done the
this thing will
concept
be cool.
justice. Wow.
Yeah. The annoying thing is now that if we go back, the very next card is the beginning of a different package, which is
Uh
the
huh.
one really annoying thing.
Yep.
Okay, I think okay. Though I think in this case it's fine to go card by card and reveal the package because it's not immediately obvious from this card what the package is
Yeah,
leading up to.
for sure.
So we'll just go card by card for this.
This is Yellow Guy ordering a family meal. The family tub will feed us all. That's the promise. If this card is in the stage, this card's name is also regarded as Mother. Poor Yellow Guy. During the turn this card is placed on the stage from your hand at the beginning of your attack phase, you can do the Hachima. Clear the board, and if you do, this card gets the following ability till end of turn. Once per turn, when damage dealt by this card is cancelled, you may deal 3 damage to your opponent. And it's also on attack, pay 1, ditch 1, Icy Tail 3.
Yeah, by itself it's just Hatsama with a different damaging effect. So it wouldn't be too notable, but this is the beginning of another package because people had a lot of fun with the whole Hatsama only thing.
Oh,
And I thought,
yeah.
okay, what if we had a package that actually intended you to, like it was by design made to do that
Yeah.
rather than feeling like an accident.
Yeah, Ollie Hachima definitely felt like an accident, but a very happy one. Black hole that
Yeah,
BEKs a
yeah.
thing.
Okay, so the only thing I will mention here is why is he ordering a family meal and why he's the mother. Basically, in one of the episodes, they visit a creepy family
Yeah,
and the family is getting really attached to Yellow Guy specifically. And at the end, it's revealed that the reason they did that is because they wanted the Yellow Guy to replace their dead mother because, and I quote, like they need to be a complete family to order a family meal. That's why they needed the mother. And now that they have a mother in Yellow Guy, they make him order the family meal. And the Hatsum effect represents because after they order the meal, the family devours that thing like actual animals. It's one of the really horrific scenes. There's like blood everywhere.
shit.
So what better way to show that than blowing up the board?
Yeah, that seems accurate for sure.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I'm gonna say that it's neutral individually, but it's building up.
Yeah. I remember when seeing some of these as you're talking about them in the Discord and being like, "What in God's name is this leading up to?" Just like from the context of what is going on in this show, that some of these images existed. Like the next one, actually, is a very good
Yes.
example.
Okay, this is the father. And as you can see, Yellow Guy is very baffled that this one's the dad,
Yeah,
as I think most people would be.
yeah,
Okay,
it certainly was.
if this card is in your backstage, this card cannot be put into your waiting room by the auto ability of the previous card. And then when your character direct attacks, you can choose one of your characters and give them 500 power at cross turn. And then he's also at Sec 3 Brainstorm. The second effect is a real effect that they have on a real Brainstorm from the Overlord trial deck, just for context.
Yeah,
Because that trial deck also had a bit of a direct attack thing going on. That's where the Infamous Hokkaidos comes from.
yeah.
As you can see, we're already starting to build up the idea of we're going to add some on the board, but we're not going to care because this guy is immune to the Hatsama blow up, but only in the backstage. So don't start being funny just yet. You have to wait for that.
True.
Okay, as far as what's going on, it's a creepy family, but it looked like a normal family. There was like a dad, there was the twins, there was the younger brother, and whatever.
Yeah.
And then, at the scene at the very end when they are in the table and Yellow Guy orders the family meal, this guy talks for the first time, and it's like a super deep voice. Then, like the twins we'll see the twins later. The twins say like, "Oh, father, don't talk on the table," something like that. Yellow guy's like, "That one's the dad."
Yeah.
The reveal is that this one's the dad, and the really big dude we will see later, that's the younger brother.
Oh God.
Okay,
Ah God, this
so
one. This is the
this
image.
one's
Odd place or death. Pitch a card to mill the top two if there's a climax among them. Oh wait, never mind. What? Okay.
oh no,
On
you mill
stage
the
or on
two,
death,
and
mill top two. If there's a climax, you can ditch one to salvage a character.
it
Sure,
is a real effect. I can confirm.
I believe it. And then also, it's a stock bomb.
Okay, yeah, this is the target for Warren, the yellow guy, Warren, his brain.
Huh.
And okay, this, yeah, it definitely reads a little weird, but I assure you this is a lot better than it reads. It's not amazing, but it gives you a lot of mill early on. It
Yeah.
gives you a bomb to out things, and it gives you potential hand fixing if you hit stuff. So I think it has just enough. Comparing it to the botsy that Wutari works with, that one is also a stock bomb, but that one is a reset on top of the stock bomb.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I didn't want to do the same thing. I thought I want to do something similar, but not quite. It has this one's better at milling on command, but it's worse at filtering for specific things.
It's also
But it's
smaller.
overall that's better
Helps.
for it because it's a bomb.
Yeah.
It's not too crazy of a card redemption. Yeah, the flavor it doesn't really exemplify the flavor. Its flavor comes more so from the relationship with Warren because Warren basically, in his terrible attempts at being helpful in resolving their fight, he just made Yellow Guy feel even worse to the point where he turned into this. Turning into this represents him being inside his head, quote unquote. You see him like this, and then next scene you see inside his head where he's playing with his brain friends.
Okay. That is
And
definitely
the
not what I thought that this image it was doing with Worm in his brain when I first saw the card. So
yeah,
I'm
the worm in his brain. Yeah, this is another weird, like metaphorical thing because it's technically a worm that made him into this, but at the moment there is no literal worm in his brain yet. But as I explained, Warren eventually goes inside his brain to
okay.
fix the problem, quote unquote,
Right.
and that's when we have the actual worm in the brain. We'll reach to the card that reaches to the end of that whole thing eventually. Okay, we can go to the next card.
Clap clap.
This is yellow, guys. Sad one. Okay, if you have one or less other characters, he gets plus on level and 2500 power, and if you do not have another character, he gets plus on soul. Uh, you know, he's kind of sad, pretty lonely, I guess.
Yeah, this is.
Uh,
I mean, as far as like just like turn one guys, like oh I can only play the one guy, play this guy. Seems
yeah,
perfectly fine.
yeah. They have played stuff like this in the past. It's nothing too special.
Yeah,
But I will say this card is also a surprise tool that will help us later.
that is true for like that's the that is this
Yeah,
that's the whole point of this set, right?
that's
It's like every card is a surprise tool that helps you later, except for like some cards in the trial deck and some other, but like
I guess,
at least
yeah.
like 80% of the cards in this set are like it's not a toolbox because
Yeah,
a toolbox is like like a variety of tools for different functions. This is like God, I feel like you get into like DDD flowcharts, right, where it's like how to mesh the combos together in a way that's like this is a cohesive,
yeah.
powerful
I
deck.
really, yeah. You're really making me want to see people try to deck build this.
Oh God.
I want to see what they come up with. I'm going to give it the plus because this one is very sneaky. You wouldn't guess that it's part of anything greater by itself at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't. I'm in shock. we'll
Yeah,
we'll get
don't worry about it. We'll get there.
all right. Next card. Oh God. Oh God. He's in the electric chair. No. All right. Fair fitting flavor text. Yeah, he's your
It's good.
climax
Yeah.
swap. He's a sack climax swap. Very fitting for what he's doing. And also, oh, oh, wow, that is a potent combo. Pitch one, sack this. If you have another June 20th, choose one of your opponent's characters, move it to another open position of their stage. Doesn't have to be center stage, just
Yeah,
stage period. Yeah, that's a good
just to say,
climax swap.
yeah, this set has a quite a few climax swaps actually. So this isn't your only option. This is your only option that has this specific cost. And then the second fact, I'll be honest, I think I had a reason for why he has it, but I cannot remember it right now.
Hmm. Gotcha.
But it doesn't have to be every single card as a super deep lore explanation. I think this one can just be what it is.
This is like support for. No, wait. What is it support for? Brain, like. Uh,
For the I think the idea was for just to create the reverses for the trial deck combo more
for
than anything.
okay, yeah, specifically for that. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, like God,
Mhm.
I remember I ended up using this ability on Thermex when I fixed him for Arcanites. This second effect is just wild, and the fact that it's like as cheap as it is too.
But this effect started as pay two on play. It eventually crept itself to this cost in order to make people actually want to play it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Is that?
Okay, yeah. As far as what's going on here, it's a very funny scene because okay, this is the electricity song where the electricity box thingy that we tried to explain earlier. She's singing she's singing her song, and her song is all about all the wonderful things you can do with electricity. And at some point, it just breaks down to people just saying, what about this? Let's make it an electric this. What about that? Let's make it an electric light. So it's like, oh, what about our breadboard? Let's make it an electric breadboard. And they just do it a couple of times, and eventually it climaxes with Yellow Guy going, and what about our boring chair? Let's make it an electric chair. And then
Yo.
cut to this.
What a cutaway. Good job, yellow guy. Oh my god. Alright. This card seems cracked as hell.
This is not where I expected the crack to come from, but if you say so.
Sack Climax Swap is actually like very good. Like there's it's really good.
I don't know.
And the fact
I
like
don't know. Maybe I don't know. Haven't had too much experience with it, but I have generally only heard that it's cool as an additional thing to play more than anything. But yeah, maybe you're right. I think you're getting the work aspects. This is Yellow Guy Dag the old one back. At the beginning of your attack phase, you can put one Dag definitely dead from your memory underneath the card as a marker. If you do, he gets 2500 power and the following ability. When he reverses battle opponent, you check the top four, add one, put the rest into your waiting room. Yeah, this is me trying to see how far we can push the common Nene with the fishing rod.
Yep.
You know the one.
Oh yeah, I remember talking about this one. Because the
Uh,
math was just like, yo, what? You could do that? And yes, you are allowed to. According to all
yeah.
known laws of physics.
Okay, yeah. Dark definitely dead. It's a snow bunny. It's nothing special by itself. But this is a very flavorful way to make use of him because basically what happens is in the episode, Doug ends up quote unquote dead, but not really dead. He's legally dead, I guess you can say. He ends up being buried alive, and at the very end of the episode, Yellow Guy goes and literally digs him out of the grave and brings him back, and then he comes back into the house and said, "I dug the old one back," which is what the name is.
Gotcha.
And that's the idea of going from memory back to not memory, I guess.
Yeah.
If you told me that this is broken, I wouldn't oppose to that sentiment. I'm just thinking, okay, you have to have a guy in memory, you have to get rid of him, and that guy only goes in memory by paying a stock, and you have to do it the next turn. You can't just do it beforehand.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I'll give it a plus for the exploration of things and flavor and all that.
I don't think it's broken because of all the kind of the mitigating factors involved, but I think it definitely might. That's the question, right? Like, where do you fit? Like, Snow Bunny is, I think, maybe a good enough profile that you can find space to put these in, but man, who knows?
Yeah, I'm really curious, like what would settle out of all of this if it was real, because this one it just has a lot of stuff that's connected. It actually feels like all of them connect well though, because I did a very connected set in the past, but at the end of it, I felt like I was just forcing people to connect things for no reason. Here it feels like everything that connects actually has a good reason for you for why you would want to run the whole thing. So it
Yeah.
actually makes you make choices, I guess. So I feel a lot happier about this one. Okay, now
Speaking
we
of,
can
yeah,
jump to slides and go to 38.
behold
Here
the meaning of
now
family.
we're continuing the family package that we started a little time ago.
This is
Now we
Lily.
can.
The family is something that means a great deal to us. Sure thing. If you have another Todney, the meaning of family, in your center stage, this card gets 4,000 power.
It's
When this card
the
is in your winning room at the beginning of your attack phase, if meaning of family is in your climax area, levels 2 or higher, and you have 3 or more characters, you may put this card any open position of your stage.
This is a real effect. I don't remember from where. It was after Oli though.
Yeah, the fact that it's when this card is in your winning group, that's very clunky wording on their part. Anyway, when this card is placed on stage from your hand or by its own effect, you can pitch trade character or the event Mother's Piece from your hand to grab a Todney from your winning group and put on any position of your stage. So you need to
Okay.
have an open position, but then the Todney, she can just put them anywhere. Okay.
Yeah, if you have three characters, you'll have two open positions, one for her and one for Todney. That's the idea.
Right, and you only do need 3, so you just don't play in that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
We can look at Todney real quick as well. I'll read this one. It's similar. It's a similar structure. Yeah, he also gets 4,000 power if Lily is in your center stage. Then he has the Zeke combo,
Yeah.
where he can sack the climax. The only difference that instead of 4 or more condition, he just needs Lily in your center stage to do it. And technically, that's a slightly higher condition actually. So he actually gets to grab any events as well, which is very funny. Uh, and then finally, he has this really weird alarm, which begins another thing in the set, which is the weird alarms. At the beginning of your climax phase, if it's the top card of your clock, and all of your characters are June 20th, you draw a card. If you do, choose a card in your hand, put in your waiting room. Then you put him into your waiting room, and then you clock the top card of your deck. So,
Okay. Yeah, that
so
means that
basically,
he sets him up. So you get your
yeah,
alarm trigger, then you play your climax, then you get to spawn him, and now you have 2 land swinging at 10k.
yeah,
That is
and yeah, and
fascinating.
obviously these are worded. It's like only where you can resolve your Hatsama, and then you summon these two to fill up your two zones.
Oh
And
my
they are
god.
attackers, I guess. And it's also balanced out a little bit by this not being a classing trigger. It's a shot.
Yeah.
It was going to be a wind, but at some point they realized that we're blowing up the board anyway. What do we need wind for?
Yeah, you really do want
Oh,
shot for the direct attack lanes.
yeah,
That's
yeah, exactly. And shot made way more sense because you get your direct attacks. Exactly. So yeah,
man.
it always returns back to shot with me.
Yeah, this is man.
Yeah,
I
also
think
this
this is
this will happen at level 2 as well. Yeah, so just in case, because some people might be wondering about the Zeke combo. Yeah, it's not Zeke at level 1; it's Zeke at level
level
2.
2. Yeah,
So
which
yeah,
also
it's
is a
not
trade.
as powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
it has and it also has the condition where it basically only works if you do the whole thing. You can just do it by itself.
Yeah, definitely a trade off to just to make the events happen, which I guess
But yeah,
you want
I
that
don't
mother's
think.
piece playing it then.
Yeah, the mother space. We've already said what it is basically, but I guess we can leave it ambiguous.
Yeah, we'll see it shortly. Like
Uh,
it's at the end of yellow, right? So
but
we'll
yeah,
get there.
I don't think you play this in anything besides the dedicated Hatsuma deck. This is literally what this is for.
Yeah,
So yeah. Okay.
it's true.
Next up,
Yellow guy, pondering about death. What happens
you
to us
got
when we die?
you got both of the pondering cards. Congratulations.
Yay. Yeah, it's the. Oh, interesting. It's not on the. No, it is the.
It's
Getting Rusha
the
flashbacks. When this card is put
yeah,
in your
it's
winning
the
room from
thing.
stage,
Yeah,
yeah, put return this
just
card
read
to your
it.
hand, uh, and then stock a trade character. When this card becomes reversed, you have 2 more of the trade characters. The card battle opponents level 3 or lower. You can stock kick them, and then alarm. Ditch one at the beginning of your main phase. So this is the top of your clock. You can pay the cost. Reveal top deck to. Oh yeah, it's alarm recap.
It's what we jokingly called the Neo-Spacian Grand Mall profile plus alarm Rico because we're weird alarms.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
there is no. Yeah, this is basically a pretty techy card. I guess you can argue that the alarm Rico makes it worth taking the one copy because it's not completely dead. But yeah, that's about it. And there is another really gimmicky card down the line that technically works with this, but that one is extremely gimmicky. I don't think I would actually play it. I don't have special feelings about this other than, okay, yeah, what happens when we die? Do we ever come back? Yeah, you come back.
Question answered. In case he was curious. All right. Hello,
Okay,
Roy.
here we have Roy, hungry for blood. Okay. He gets 1,000 for every June 20th card in your backstage. On play, he does the I am effect, where he can level down twice. And also on play, he can resonate with 2 we'll see later, yellow guy saved by his father. If he resonates, your opponent cannot use Encore for the rest of the turn.
Right. And usually you
Yeah, so it's
see that like double sided, so resonate to just
yeah. This exists. There is Goblin Slayer again. Funnily enough, has a
ah
card that's literally on play. Your opponent cannot use Encore for the rest of the turn, no condition, but
oh
it costs a lot of power.
makes sense.
So I added the resonate because the way you would play these, if you even play them, they're pretty gimmicky. But if you play them, the yellow guy will end up in your hand.
Hmm.
So I thought, okay, might as well resonate with that to make it cheaper. Basically, this is yellow guy's father. He's in the web series he was a big antagonist, but in the television series he's rarely talked of. This is like his one appearance
Oh
at the end of the episode with the family, where he just shows up to quote unquote save yellow guy, but it felt more like saving him was just a side effect of him wanting to just kill everyone in the room because he felt like it.
fair.
Yeah, which is why he's so unrelentlessly destructive, you could say, with what he does.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, this is definitely cool flavor, a cool technology or whatever. But yeah, probably not a very good card if I'm being honest.
I mean the combination of Ayames that they can't do anything like the even encores off the table that is super nice. Like I definitely
Uh,
know I could definitely think of a couple of places where that's relevant for sure. But
I
because it's
guess we
not an
can
early play, so
go.
it's a level 3, so
I guess we can go to the target just to see the full picture because yeah, you can do a funny thing with that.
it's
The target
53.
53, 53.
Behold.
We can go to 53.
He's
Okay.
the pigtail. It's another 2/2 that is on play stock thing. If you have 4 more traded, choose trade cooking away in front of the stock. On attack, gets 1,500 times number of your other character. Okay. Yeah. So big. And when it's frontal attack, pay cost to exchange. Pay a stock to exchange from hand as the defending character, which means doesn't that mean that you could get like mid combat level down then?
Yeah, but you have to be careful because you can give your opponent extra attacks with that. So you can only really kill things that will not attack or things that have. You cannot kill stuff that already attacked basically because you will give them more attacks.
Yeah, I mean like,
But yeah,
hmm.
just existing on the board, this threatens just their board being annihilated,
Yeah, they
which I think
can't.
is.
Yeah, they also like they absolutely cannot attack this thing first. It has to be like the third thing that they attack, because otherwise it's just like,
Yeah,
oof.
otherwise you're losing a lot. Yeah, because, yeah, if they attack it last, then you cannot. You will, yeah, then they will not want to level down your other guys because you will get more attacks. But yeah, I think it sounds really ridiculous. Okay, the effect exists by the way. Slime has it. The chains target doesn't do anything, just gains power, but it's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just want to really sell the idea of you get saved out of nowhere by this bloodthirsty guy. I mean, I love what I did here. I don't know. I think it's deceptively balanced, but I don't know how you feel about it.
I would definitely want to see this and play just to see like how it all works out. But yeah, I don't know for sure where this would rank because it's like a mid combat early play.
Yeah, I guess it's the justification is also that the cards don't do like anything productive, quote unquote. They are basically just here to do their flashy thing that may or may not come up.
Yeah, nice.
So I feel like that theoretically makes them, niche enough to where they wouldn't be anything too crazy.
You also can't do this. You can't like I think it there's some flavor sets because it also like you wouldn't want to play this in the same deck as like the family thing because you want the tutu to be on board and it's killable by the Hachima. So like can't really
Yeah, yeah.
play
This is
that.
definitely
So it's
this is
like
definitely not going into the family deck. That deck has a lot of stuff it has to play for the package.
yeah.
It doesn't have room for a gimmicky like two card combo like this on top of everything.
But if you did play this against that, you could do some work. So I like that it
Yeah,
actually is kind
yes,
of like
yeah.
a counter to that in a way. If your opponent
I
like
definitely I did not think about it like that, but again, yeah, you're discovering things I didn't know about in my own set. So that's great.
that's the beauty of these. All right.
Yeah, that now we have Leslie, no worries. You don't have to worry because she always has plenty of backups. She also has a soul trigger, so she's broken. On play, you can ditch a June 20th character. If you do, search a character with backup, reveal it to your opponent, and add to your hand. And when you use an act, she gains 6,000 power.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
6,000 power.
yeah. Whatever was left, just invest all of it to the act. I don't care.
Oh man. I think at some point this card was shown and I was like, man, I wish I had thought of this for Arknights because search for backup would be like the perfect card for the blue in that deck. Yeah, this card's. I don't think
Yeah,
it's crazy good, but it is definitely like it has a place.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how
Something.
good it is. I literally just made this because she said that she has plenty of backups. So I'm like, yeah, let's make her search backups. That sounds very funny.
God, she's like 9-5 if you have a level 2 backup on her. That's hilarious. Yeah, and it's
I
grabbable with
don't
choice because the
remember if I.
soul trigger. You just grab it. Yoink.
Yeah, broken. It
Well,
has soul trigger. Anyway,
next card.
uh,
Very fun.
yeah. Oh wait,
Oh.
yeah. I think this one has a. This one might be a little outdated. I think.
Mm.
I don't think this is supposed to have a soul trigger anymore.
Okay. Gotcha.
Uh, yeah, it's supposed to have an actual soul instead because it's missing that
Oh.
right now. Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
The
I'll fix that.
it is fortunately still on budget.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I budgeted it correctly. I just changed my mind.
Nah, this can attack. It's fine. Yellow guy. He's just standing there. Are you just going to stand? Apparently, yes. It's a 1500 backup that also has act rest this to give a trade character 1500 power till end of turn. That is
Yeah,
fun.
this is here to combine with the previous Leslie, pretty
Yeah,
much. Just giving you act no matter the turn.
yeah. And it's the same number,
Yeah.
which is good for symmetry. Moving on.
Okay, we're
Oh God.
slowly but surely completing the family. Yeah, this is the grandma.
Uh huh.
On play and on death, each one to get the mother piece event from your
Oh wow.
waiting room. You can also act restless to give a character in your opponent's stage -1,000 for the turn. And finally, if you have father, you can sack this to grab the 3/2 Hatsama yellow guy from your waiting room.
Oh baby.
It's a bridge to all of the things you need to collect to perform the combo,
Yeah.
basically.
The double timed grab event is very interesting to
I'll be
me.
honest. I think that one didn't need to be there. To be honest, it just I was getting paranoid and I was like, oh, what if you wanted to play this at level 1 to minus something, but you didn't have an event in your waiting room yet, so it needs to be on death as well. It's probably overkill, but whatever.
Yeah, it probably would be fine as if it was just on death and set a little bigger, just because you're playing it in the Hachima deck. So
Yeah,
the on death trigger definitely makes sense for it, but maybe it just doesn't need the on play. Still,
yeah.
yeah,
It probably could just on death.
it's just
Yeah,
it's a
it doesn't
pile of
do
utility.
anything
Yeah,
super. Yeah, it's just upgrades for to make the package actually function basically. Yeah, I guess something funny to mention, I guess, is that father. We saw the actual father,
yeah.
but we also have the a character later that becomes father because he's who you would think is the father.
Hmm.
So you have two options
Oh
for
yeah,
when that effect is live, I guess.
yeah. That is fun.
That's the only thing to mention. Moving to the next. Uh,
Yes. Yes, this is Yellow Guy online. When you play him, he gets 2,500 power and 1 level until end of turn. At the beginning of your Encore step, he dies. But if the top card of your deck is level 2 or higher, you add it to your hand.
yeah, gambling.
Gambling.
Yeah, this is here just to be like an alternative to the combo if you want to target for the okay, I guess we can reveal it, the mother space event we've been hearing so much about. That's the forbidden library, and then the second effect we just wanted to play into the let's do gambling thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
Huh.
just a scene where they are going. It's the first. It's not the first time. It's just that they go online and then they all say what they want to do online. And Yellow Guy says that he wants to do gambling.
Let's do
So I had
gamble.
to put that somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Nice card.
Okay. I think we can go over this one quickly. This is the insurance stitcher, which is just it's just a Kobani
Hi,
backup.
Kobeni. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a specific reason. It's just we had I wanted a Kobani backup in the set, and this guy wasn't represented. So I guess here he is.
You found a place to put him.
Yeah, he just appears. He's not part of like a whole episode. He literally just appears like Yellow Guy after he becomes smart. He starts questioning the logic of the world, and
Uh,
one of the first things he says is okay, like he said something about insurance. I don't remember exactly. And as soon as he said about insurance, this guy popped out of the table and he was like, "Did someone say insurance?" Which is the flavor text here.
that's funny. It gives me flashbacks to the fanfic that I write. Right, I kind of made it a theme when I was writing Hololive fic that every time someone mentioned hope, Iris would show up because she's like the embodiment of hope. She just like teleports next to you. Another personal kid.
uh,
Yeah, I do kind of like that. It's just that being a thing that someone does, especially in a setting as Gonzo as this one.
moving on. Yeah, this is a really weird gimmicky one. This is Larry the Lamb with the giant flavor text that we'll explain later. If Yellow Guy pondering about death is in your clock, he gets -1 level in your hand. If you have two or more other characters, he gets 8,000 power, so you will be 10k. And on play, he gets the following three abilities until the end of the opponent's turn. First, all characters in the center stage gain the cancel.
Hmm.
He also has great performance. And finally, when his battle opponent was reversed, you can choose a generated character, give them 1500 power, and pound until end of turn.
Fascinating.
Mm. Okay, if you read, basically, when Yellow Guy is pondering about death, he shows up and he's like, and he says the thing that's written here,
and
and the effect.
yeah, the
Uh,
effects like line up with the flavor text very well.
yeah, that was the whole point. Yeah, that's all he's here for.
Yeah, it's super weird to see like a level like this guy's a 1/1 like basically with if you meet the clock condition, but like a 2/1 with an early play clock condition that also is level 1 great performance.
Yeah, they've made quite a few of these recently. They don't think they're that good for the
Yeah.
most part.
They're this is they're weird. Very
Yeah,
weird.
it's weird. He's here to be weird.
He
Uh,
definitely accomplishes that. Holy shit. All right. Well, let's move along to the next nightmare. God.
yeah, this one is a nightmare.
If this card is in your stage, this card loses friendship. Very much fitting. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you may choose a yellow guy warming his brain in your waiting room, put it on the top or at the bottom of your stock. Very interesting. I do like that modality. And then when it's placed on stage from your hand, it gets 2,000 times number of June 20th characters you have.
Okay, so yeah, this is the 2-1 Saints target for the Warren all the way back.
Yeah.
So as I said, you probably won't play him. You will probably just take advantage of the cost. But he's here. He can give you even more stock. I think this was actually your idea. I think you were like, okay, let's change into the guy that gives more stock. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna steal that. I like that.
Huh. Yeah.
And other than that, he just gets pretty big for the turn. The bottom, I think that's only here because I think the budget turned out in a way that I didn't like,
Hmm.
so I had to give a tiny benefit to the second effect.
Gotcha.
Yeah, basically, okay, what's happening here is Warren, he goes into the brain, then he bores everyone with this podcast, and then Yellow Guy starts running away from him. Eventually, they reach into a black void of nothingness, and then Warren is now this for some reason instead of what he was before.
His true form.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. And then Dak just, then we cut to Dak who like pokes a needle inside Yellow Guy's ear to grab this Warren by the neck and pull him out, and he dies.
Thanks, Duck. Being the hero
Yeah.
we need.
Okay, that's literally a quote. He says that he's the best one. So yeah. Okay, and then we're also completing the characters or the family package here with the brother. If he's in the States, he becomes father because that's a fair assumption to make. Uh, then, just like the actual father, when he's in the backstage, he cannot be blown up by the yellow guy Hatsama. And then he's a global 1K. And on play, you can pay on this one to search for a climax with Sod.
Oh man, alive. You end up with a full board. There's just guys. Because your back row
Yeah,
is immune to destruction, your front row summons itself in waiting room.
yeah, yeah. We're taking the Hatsama to its logical extreme.
Yeah, this is about as logical extreme as I think you could get. It also searches the climax for itself. Shot is definitely one that deserves the ability as well. Like that door has. I feel like Shot is definitely a good candidate for it. Man, I also like how it gives the power, but like hypothetically, you're never actually gonna need that power for anything.
I guess it helps you protect on the opponent's turn, technically.
Oh right, yeah.
But yeah,
Well, yeah. I guess for the level twos, like the Hajime, you definitely don't really need to like keep around. Wait, and for the level twos, you just want to cycle them again, wouldn't you, to redo the
I
combo?
mean, yeah, it definitely wouldn't hurt to keep them around so that you don't have to get a climax and
Hmm.
pay all of the extra hand.
You're right. That's true. Save your resources. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, this card makes it go. I do like it. It makes things go.
Okay, and we're actually out of characters because we already talked about the two yellow guys, so we
Yep.
can go right to the events.
Behold the book. Huh. Leslie's book. You wanted this, didn't you? 2-1 event. You need at least 3 June 20th characters to play it. So, each of the guys meets that condition. Return the top card of your clock to your hand. Put this card in your memory.
Yeah, it's just a very basic event profile that goes to memory. That's what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, this is like it's kind of funny because as I explained, this show, especially back in the YouTube days, had a crazy dedicated like theory fandom that would make theories out of literally everything.
Mm.
And this book essentially it's basically a giant like I don't want to say middle finger because it was done in just for laughs basically.
Yeah.
But it makes a parody out of those people effectively because it's like Here's the book of answers. It's full of the answers you're looking for, but we never actually see anything in the book.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, so I guess it's kind of represented by this not doing anything special. It just does a standard thing that exists
Yeah.
with no special variation on the matter. And I think, this is basically here to fulfill conditions for your cards, and that's about it. And it has ways to be fitted in later on.
I do like the ability to like heal the hand. Is just it's cool. I do like it.
Well, okay, yeah, okay, this is like a spoiler for another set, but I have this event in Doctor Stone as well, and that set has the Goblin Slayer and early play that is on play search and event. So that's fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. As a way to, I do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do like that. It's
Yeah,
fun.
here it doesn't have anything special regarding the effect itself. It's special just because of the name,
Yeah,
which is it's appropriate for what it represents.
for sure. All right, last card in yellow.
Okay, here's the mother's piece. Finally, you can in fact use it. You can in fact use the mother's piece. It's not a card that you cannot use. It is legal to play. It is a 2-1 event. If you have one or less characters, you cannot play it, and it also goes to your memory. You can choose one of your level 2 or higher characters with yellow guy in its card name, return to your hand. If you do, choose a character with yellow guy in your hand, put it on any position of your stains, and if you placed specifically the yellow guy Hatsuma, that character gets the family trait and the following two abilities until the end of your opponent's turn: Hexproof and Hand on Core.
Oh, okay, man.
Like it's not too crazy. This is the standard for these events, pretty much. But as you can see, a lot of the yellow guy cards were designed, especially the level threes, were designed with this in mind.
Fascinating. Is that
Yeah, like you could.
the library does that kind of shit?
The library doesn't do this
No.
much because it was the first version of this, but
Later
once
versions.
you
Okay.
yeah, the later versions like Spartan Training and the Avatar one as well, they start adding more stuff on this as time goes on.
Yeah, which definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I think the library just gives it 1,000 power or something,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
The yeah, that Spartan training is like
Spartan
it's
Training,
level fixing.
it's yeah, it has level fixing on top of everything, and then Qatari gives a bunch of stuff. I think I don't remember, but yeah, it's about where it needs to be. Okay, as far as what's the flavor, what ties everything together with basically this is like the foreshadowing, quote unquote, when they were just in the family house there. At some point, they played a board game,
Yeah.
and one of the twins goes to yellow guy and says, "You can use
Use
mother's
mother's piece.
piece," and then he uses mother's piece, and then Duck grabs the mother piece as well to, I guess, look at it. I don't remember. As he touches it, the grandma goes absolutely haywire, and then the twins say dramatically, "Mother's piece must only be touched by mother,"
That
which at
is yeah,
which
that's foreshadowing. Holy
yeah, yeah.
shit.
That it's funny because once you're at that point, you've already trained your brain to accept anything from the show. So you said, "Oh yeah, they just contradict themselves. Who cares?" But then you realize it was foreshadowing all along.
Wow. Dude. Man, alright. Well, that is yellow. What do I even rate this card, actually? It's one of those things, right? Like, it simultaneously, this this setup almost doesn't really need this as as a thing, but also, like, it feels better than I think that the Fubuki change, the Fubuki plan, right? Because you
I mean,
only
yeah,
need
it's
to get,
definitely
like, a
better. Yeah,
yellow
yeah.
guy.
I think Fubuki is a bit overkill. Like you're losing way too much just to play Hatsuma. That's the big problem I have with that deck.
Uh, yeah,
So I want to change it to something that I really like personally and also fits very well thematically. The mother space represents the transformation into the mother.
that's really good. That whole package is a trip and probably also one of the more dangerous builds to be on the lookout for. We'll see, because we do still
Yeah,
have two other colors. But
I guess the only thing is that they would take up a lot of your deck, and you're pretty much forced into trial deck choice into the shot. because otherwise the deck doesn't function because you need the level 2s to swap with and stuff.
True.
So, it kind of, I feel like a good 60-70% of your deck is pre-built, and I'm not sure, it's a powerful thing, but it's also sometimes not necessary to go that far
Yeah.
in a lot of cases. So, I feel like, can you make a competitive deck out of the last 30%? That's the question. But as far as being just a fun, like optimized version of the Hatsama thing, that's definitely achieved, I believe.
Yeah. At minimum, it is that. Man. All right. Well, that's the end of yellow. And we will be back next time to look through green. Bye.
I